YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be running you through a little bit of a day in a life in Cape Town. We've got a double training day. We've got a busy day of calls and check-ins too. So there's going to be a little bit to go through. It's around 7 a.m. now. I've just had a banana, orange and grapefruit. Watch my previous video to see why I've changed up my breakfast. Just sipping on a coffee, but I'm going to wait until it cools down a little bit because we've all made that mistake before. And I'm going to crack on with some work. Also in this video, I'm going to give you an update to where I'm at with my prep and my injury. Not good, especially when we should be in a peaking block right now. Should be peaking performance at the moment. And I've not even been running, which is not ideal. Is what it is. Let's get cracked on with the day. That's client check-ins all boxed off for the day. Apart from one person who is late, you know who you are. Aiden, come on bro, sort it out. But now I am going to get my breakfast sorted and then go for a little walk, grab a coffee. Then I've got a call with my business mentorship. And then it is time for lower body in the gym. So I've got deadlifts, got back squat, and then I've got a Copenhagen plank into some isometric calf holds, not raises because I'm just holding it in that position, and some abs. Let's get to it. In my travels from Gran Canaria to Cape Town, another problem I faced was I broke my tripod, so I'm still not to get a tripod yet. So I've got a little like ceramic pot type thing here to balance you on. And now I'm going to show you. I'm just going to make my breakfast, to be honest, and I'm going to show you it. Because that's what we do in a day in a life, innit? We just show you bits of my life, I guess. So we're going to have rice, veg, and chicken. You know how it goes down. It all just goes into the same pot, and then I put it on there. That is the hob, by the way. And then I cook it, and then I eat it. Let's get to it. Rice, chicken, mixed veg, bit of salt, job's a good one. Gonna eat this whilst listening to some training. Go for a little walk, coffee, job's a good one. Back sat here, ready for today's education chat, which I'm excited for. It's really important as we age to have some sort of continued education in this life, whether it's learning an instrument, learning a new language, developing your business, developing skills. Keeps the brain healthy. We all just do the same thing all the time. We never actually challenge our brain, and that's really bad for later in life. So do a Sudoku every day or something like that, all right? Anyway, I'm gonna eat, and I'm really looking forward to my second coffee today. You won't find a better coffee in the world than a double espresso from Ollie's. Oh, Sea Point in Cape Town, if you're ever there, get yourself to Ollie's for the best coffee you will ever have in your life. I was going to show you inside, but it was pretty hectic in there this morning, so out of respect for other people in there, I just decided not to. Plus, a little bit of a rush this morning, so you know when the coffee's good and it hits the spot. Honey and creatine, sent from the gods. If you want more gains, honey and creatine. Yo, this is post-workout. We have some mini steak beef, potatoes and rice. And then this little bowl of goodness is some frozen berries, orange, beetroot, and a little bit of cinnamon on top. Cinnamon is the spice of your life that you are not taking advantage of. This should be a little bit lower in fibre, to be honest, because I've got a bike session in like 2.5, 3 hours time. So lower fibre food will digest faster, but it is what it is. We can't always be perfect all the time, can we? But yeah, lower digesting food, if you are double daying between sessions, is probably going to be more favourable because the food will digest and help you fuel your next workout. But like I said, it is what it is. I'm not too bothered. It's 45 minutes, easy work on the bike. I will be absolutely fine. If it was tempo intervals on the tarmac or it was a heavy gym session, the approach would be different for sure. I wouldn't have potatoes, I'd just have all rice, and I wouldn't have the berries because it's the berries that contain the fibre. To be fair, oranges do as well. But let's not get into the pedantics of it all. Let's just eat because I'm hungry. Speak to you soon. In fact, before I do, so we have a little, just a quick 2 minutes about that gym session. Really, really good gym session. Deadlifts are moving so well. That deadlift 18241 was fantastic. Just moved really fast. The prescription was RPE 6 or 7, which it probably was. It just moved great. So I'm really happy with that. Squats afterwards moved well also. Strength is moving really well. I'm super confident that on challenge day, the deadlift is going to get absolutely smoked. I'm confident for the run as well, but obviously, given my injury, there's a little bit of doubt creeping in. But we can't have that creeping in. It doesn't stick around for too long. Flip the script. You attract what you think about. And I think about crossing that finish line in under 5 minutes. There's no other way. Session number 2 boxed off, so that was 45 minutes on the bike. Decent session. Struggled to get my heart rate up on the bike though, and it's quite often, if you're physically fit, you do a lot of running, transferring that higher heart rate onto the bike's really difficult because your quads and your legs just aren't used to the RPM required on the bike to get your heart rate up. So going to be looking to purchase something like a sweatsuit or even like a rain mat to keep my body temperature higher, which will then increase my heart rate and make the session feel a little bit more productive without the unnecessary work going through my quads. So my quads felt like the session was a good 8 RPE out of 10, which is high, right? But my heart rate didn't correspond to that. So need to look at ways to get that heart rate up. And the way is going to be just put more bloody clothes on, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to now prep my food, put it on, go into the shower, I'm gonna eat my food. It's been a day. It has been a day, but it's time to eat. On the menu this evening are sweet potatoes. We've got some mixed vegetables. We've got a grapefruit and some sardines. I absolutely love sardines. Let's get going. So today, as you know, has been a double day training and calories have been a little bit higher to suit with that, but it's not been hard to get those calories in because I've spaced all my calories out evenly throughout the day. I started with a high carbohydrate meal or quite a lot of fruit first thing in the morning with some honey. I've also had, what you've not seen, is 2 50-gram. That's landed on 350 and I wanted 350. There's something about Cape Town, man. Don't you love it when that happens? I've had 50 grams of honey twice today. So 100 grams of honey, 50 grams of honey weights, 50 grams of honey pre-bike. And that's a very, very easy, like 350 calories or so. Throw in there all the fruit, throw in there the banana, throw in there rice, and then my higher fat meal after this one. It's really easy to get those calories in. People struggle to fuel their performance properly because they don't plan ahead of time with the meals. If you don't plan ahead of time with your meals when you're trying to get a lot of food in, you're going to underfuel and you're going to underperform. It's same in fat loss, right, though, as well. Like, if you don't plan your meals, if you don't plan your protein intake, you're just going to miss. And if you miss consecutively, your performance will go to shit. You'll miss your protein all the time. And you'll just end up with this like weird, awful, stringy looking physique at the end of the diet, rather than at the end of the diet looking like you've actually built a nice athletic body, like all of my clients. You just end up looking like a skinnier, fatter version of yourself than you were when you were fat. So my advice would be to build a nice athletic physique, look at your nutrition, prioritize carbohydrates around the workout window, make sure that you're planning ahead of time so that you hit your protein intake. So that is crucial. If you perform awful whilst you are losing fat, your physique will look awful at the end. Performance is the #1 driver for physique development. So make sure that your fat loss phases are a little bit slower. Train hard with great performance. You'll have a great physique at the end of it. Simples. Simples. Just been for a little bit of a food shop top up. So it'd be wrong for me to not show you what I've got, wouldn't it? But based on you guys knowing what I'm about here, you'll already know. Some sweet potatoes, beautiful, beautiful sweet potatoes from Woolies. Bananas, mushrooms, some baby potatoes, some ostrich, if you know, you know, some kiwis, some beetroot, and some more frozen vegetables. That is what your food shop should look like, not a processed item in sight. If you start eating that way, I can guarantee that everything in your life will improve. Literally everything in your life will improve. It will get net better. I don't know how many ways I can say this if you start eating a single ingredient whole foods diet. 95% of the time. 5% of the time, do whatever you want. 95% of the time, stick to this. It works. So it's been a couple of days now and I'm here to give you the update of where we're at with this prep because I've left it a couple of days. On Monday, I had a physio appointment and physio appointment went really well. It was quite interesting to hear his thoughts. He recommended really that if I didn't have the challenge coming up, I'd need to have 4 to 6 weeks off of my feet completely in order to recover the strained tendon or ligament that I've got here. And there's also like a fascia sheath that runs over the top of the ankle bone, and that on me is always quite red. So he thinks that that's aggravated as well. He doesn't think it's torn because he doesn't think I'd be able to walk properly if it was torn, which is obviously great news. But given it's now Friday and I had my appointment on Monday and I've been doing the rehab and things like that, things haven't really progressed with it. In fact, I'm possibly feeling it a little bit more on a day-to-day basis than what I have been, which obviously isn't great. But I do appreciate, and I don't know if this is just like rubbish or not, but a lot of people do say that injuries do get worse before they get better. So we'll see. We'll see if that we'll see if that's a thing or not. The long and short of it is, the challenge is gonna go ahead. I'm still going to complete the challenge. I'm still going to complete the sub 5 minute mile, and I'm still going to complete the 500 pound deadlift. It's as simple as that. I am able to do one hard effort run per week. So that's going to be intervals. Every Monday, they're going to get boxed off. They're going to get demolished, and I'm going to get faster. The rest of the time, all of my zone 2 work or endurance work is going to be done on a bike. I'm feeling okay about it. You know, I'm a little bit nervous just due to the fact that I know I should be peaking right now and I'm not. But I think we all go through different challenges and different things in this life, right? And One thing that we all need to do on a more consistent basis is just express gratitude for the small things that we've got in this life. You know, and how incredibly grateful, how incredibly privileged am I to be talking about doing something like this challenge, you know? How incredibly privileged are you right now to be sat on your laptop, on your phone, to be watching this YouTube video? And it's oftentimes that we forget about the real small things in his life, which then makes us miserable, because we're always expecting the next big thing, we're always expecting the next big milestone. And something that's 100% changed my life recently is just making sure that I do express gratitude 3 times per day, every single day, alongside doing some affirmations, because it's those really small things every single day that I do that has helped me completely just transform my mindset and control my thoughts and emotions and separate myself from my thoughts and emotions as well. Anything and everything that you do, just be grateful for the small things, like just your cup of coffee that you have on a morning, the pen that you're using to write things down on. How does it feel? It just feels so soft and nice in your hands. Being able to wake up in the morning in a bed with a cover on. We don't think about these things. It's because we're always too fixated on what we don't have. Start thinking and you start focusing on what you do have, you'll be in a much better place in your life. And that's why I feel like I'm able to handle what's going on right now, really well, because I'm grateful that I'm able to bike. I'm grateful that I'm able to sit here on this sofa and have this conversation with you, because I know there's a lot of people in the world that would cherish to be in the positions that we are in right now. And we've got to remind ourselves of that on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to end the video here. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, tap that like button. If you loved the video and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you've got any questions, comments, please bang them in the comments below. And I'll see you next week. Peace.